Welcome to episode 106 of the Binge Boys Podcast, or episode 2 of Binging Bach. We are your hosts, Logan and Kaleigh. Hello, Kaleigh.
Hello, everyone.
We're back.
We are back.
We got a lot to talk about. I'm really excited. I loved this episode. Let's just get that right off the bat.
I did like this episode a lot too.
But first, we're going to have Benji drop that beat. But this time, I'm going to have Benji drop a Binging Bach specific beat that was made specifically for this show only. You will not hear this beat on the other programming. And I love how it sounds. So, Benji,
play it already. So can you just play it already?
Yes. Let's drop it. How about that?
That was nice.
How about that business?
How about that business?
It sounds like the intro to an 80s porno.
It does a little bit. It's very fitting. It's
very porno soundy, but that's okay. As soon as Ben sent it over to me, I was like, dude, that sounds straight out of a porno. I was like, dude, it sounds straight out of a porno, but I love it.
Anything cringy, we are here.
Correct. So, boom. We get episode 2 of Listen to Your Heart. We're going to do what we did last week. We'll talk about our favorites, least favorites, couples we're keeping our eyes on, stuff like that at the end. But first, we can just discuss, like, I guess, a summary of the episode. So, first date card, we get Jamie and Trevor.
Yep.
They get to go to Venice Beach and play music on the boardwalk, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I have a weird opinion about this.
Can we also talk about how Jamie and Trevor get in the hot tub together like there's only been 2 episodes so far, but I swear we've seen them in the hot tub together like 4 times already. Come on.
Is one of Jamie's love languages hot tubs?
I guess so.
I don't get it. I really don't. But I mean, I guess there just seems to be a convenient hot tub wherever the dates are. I wouldn't have been surprised if while Bree and Chris were at Guitar Center, Chris was like in the back, they got a hot tub.
Right, exactly.
It just seems to be hot tubs being a thing in Listen to Your Heart. But so they go out and they perform some music on the boardwalk. And I thought it was odd that like the producers were like, all right, so your date is going to be you and your crush going out to the boardwalk and you're going to play and beg for money. I know the purpose wasn't to like beg for money, and I know they made like $90 or something, but I don't know. It was an interesting. I get the significance of it being like it was an important place for Trevor.
Right.
And,
it wasn't as flashy as like bachelor dates normally are. You know,
true.
they're on like helicopters and have personal concerts and
True.
do above and beyond stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it was very low key, I think. And then they must have had some type of room to themselves because again, they were on a balcony in a hot tub, which I don't know if you watched one of the season finales, but do you know who Jared and Ashley I are from like the series? They were like in a hot tub like the entire time, like podcasting from a hot tub. I don't know what it is. I guess it's like a sexy thing, so I'm sure it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a weird date. It was like, let's go walk around. Let's play a song that you're clearly uncomfortable with me playing, but we're just going to go for it anyways. And then let's go back to our Airbnb, which is like Netflix and chill. And then let's go back.
So
with everybody else. Like, what?
Few thoughts on this. One, in both scenarios that Jamie has had the opportunity to sing, both with, I forget the other guy's name. It's Ryan, right? The other guy. Yeah, Ryan that she sang with in the first episode, and now Trevor. She, in both scenarios, was like really like nervous to sing.
Right.
It's as if
she mentioned during Trevor's thing that she doesn't perform.
Yeah, she made the comment of she made the comment of like, I usually just sing in my room alone. And it's like, oh, well, get ready for the second half of this season is going to be like a music competition with judges and shit. So like, so she better
for that part too.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how that goes.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, all that was happening, Natasha was in the house really stirring some hot tea. Came in serving hot tea, like ready to go.
She came in with a server's tray and was like, who would like the tea?
Like literally, how did she like put two and two together that fast? Like the producers definitely had to set it up because she was like, oh, is everyone here? Like, how would you know, one, to ask that question? And then two, when they were like, no, actually, two people are missing, and they mentioned Trevor, and she goes, Trevor from American Idol. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, what are the chances of it being Trevor from American
Idol? And he was on American Idol. Like, what?
Yeah, like, you got to think that I'm sure there's like a team of like 5 or 6 people that work for The Bachelor where their job is to like take every contestant and like literally dig into their personal lives and find little things like this, like, oh, Trevor's ex-girlfriend has a really, really, really hot friend. Let's get her on the show, literally to stir the pot.
Right. Just like the whole like Victoria P and who was the country singer? Was it
Chase Rice?
Chase Rice.
Literally there just to stir the pot.
Like, there's no coincidence at all behind that whole thing. No. Did that
somebody did their homework and found out that Victoria had a one-night stand with Chase Rice and figured all that out. But the same thing's going on here. I love how I loved. Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with Natasha. I love that she just came in like guns blazing, like how Trevor was like, so are you wanting to like chill out with the group? She was like, no, I'd like to talk now. And he was like, oh, okay. And it's like, I was like, oh, dude.
I feel like she was so focused on like starting so much drama with that she completely lost the point of why you're supposed to be there, though.
Yeah.
Because like at the very end, she kind of like dipped into Ryan, and Ryan being a hopeless romantic that just got dumped by Jamie and no other girls really talking to him, like ate it. But he was like, I can tell that you're not really into guys like me. And she goes, oh, I love the nerdy type. And it's like, no, you don't.
Bullshit, dude.
No, you don't. No, you're using that rose.
you are there to stir the pot. And like you said, like I was thinking the same thing. Ryan, it looked like since Rudy like was like, oh my God, me and Ryan don't click. And then she was like, oh my God, I got to go get Matt to give me a rose because I want to stay in this thing. Ryan was like, oh shit, I don't have a girl. And there's Natasha. Perfect.
I feel like Ryan and Mel would have been pretty good, but Mel was just so into Trevor, which is like, I don't even see them together at all. Like, that's such a weird matchup. Like, that's just not happening. And then, oh my gosh, I'm sure we're going to get to. Is there anything else you want to talk about until we hit the elephant in the room? Which I know.
Oh God. Wait, which elephant? Is it the Sheridan elephant?
No, the Julia elephant. Julia. She made me not very happy.
Which one is Julia? Hold on, I'm looking.
That was Sheridan. And
God.
Forever. And then said that she wasn't going.
You mean Brandon?
I mean Brandon, not Trevor. Sorry, Brandon. I think I meant that earlier too. Mel tried to go for Brandon.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, that's not a good match at all by any means. But yeah, and then Julia comes swooping in, trying to go back to Brandon. And it's like, dude, what? And the other thing about Brandon is Brandon just looks so disinterested in everyone all the time. Like, you can't really tell that he's interested in anyone. Like, Savannah's talking to him, and he looks like he's half asleep the entire time.
Here's my thing. I was just talking about this with one of my other friends, and we were both saying, like, Brandon is kind of like Brandon's attitude at this point matches Maddie's attitude last season of like Maddie knows that Peter wanted her, so she like didn't even get involved with the drama. She didn't get like over attached. She knew the whole time Peter was into her, so she just took a back seat. Brandon knows that like 3 or 4 girls are head over heels for him, so he's just giving it this like I don't give a shit attitude,
right?
Which sucks because I don't want to see Savannah go. I think Savannah and him would make the good couple. I think we said that last week.
Right. But I like them together, and when they duetted together, they both have the same like tune. Like it was beautiful. And
I loved that date that they went on.
Right, and then like you can kind of see you could have seen that like Brandon's face started to light up a little bit. Yeah. So that's where I was like, oh yeah, now I can tell that you're interested in like you're touching her because like when Mel and Julia both went to go talk to Brandon during the rose like during the cocktail hour or whatever, they both like had their hands on his thighs and were trying to hold his hand, and he was just like sitting there like he didn't really care. Mm-hmm. And they were basically leaning on top of him to like kiss him. It wasn't like he was leaning towards anything. But then when Brandon and Savannah were singing, he was like putting his arm around her and trying to dance with her and like actually trying to kiss her, which is like the most action I've tried to see out of Brandon, like I think this whole season so far. So I think it's a pretty good tell-all that Brandon really likes Savannah because he picked her, but it also makes me mad that afterwards he went up to like after the ceremony and said like we have time to work this out, and it's like dude.
With all due respect, Brandon, what are you doing, dude? She goes up after the rose ceremony, not only in front of Savannah, but also in front of Sheridan that just chose Julia.
Right.
Like, don't worry, we got time to work this out. Like, bro, what? At least pull her to the side, not in front of everybody.
Literally in front of everyone.
Like, bro, like, does he even know? Like, there can't be a guy that is fit, beautiful in the face, can sing, is really good looking. He can't also be smart. There's got to be something wrong.
Right, you got to find somewhere.
There's got to be something wrong with him. And
right.
I think his intelligence or common sense just isn't there because then you just made Savannah, Julia, and Sheridan all uncomfortable when everybody was in high spirits because of the rose ceremony.
Right.
But
yeah, honestly, Sheridan, I feel bad for Sheridan. And next episode, he just needs to start playing. I just start looking for someone else and totally ditch Julia, or he's gonna get really hurt.
Let's talk about Sheridan.
I'm like almost mad that Julia accepted his rose. It's 100% just to stay in the game. Like it's not because she actually wants, and that's what also kind of makes me mad because like the roses are meant to be you give it to someone and then that person doesn't have to accept it. Like if you do not feel the same way towards that person, it's different if the person's just giving out the rose because they have no connection and they're like, we're friends and I want to like keep you here. That's one thing. But it's another thing when one person really cares about the person they're giving the rose to and that person does not care about that person at all and then just accepts it just so they can stay and then go talk to someone else like immediately. My respect for Julia is like gone because she's really not there for the right reasons. Like the person you wanted did not want you. The person that wants you, you do not want. it's time for you to go home. Like that's how it goes. You had your time last week to have 2 full weeks. Now you're going to take away someone else's rose so they can go home next week. That's awful.
Yeah, I'm really scared that Sheridan goes home this next week, because I assume that they're just going to keep switching off, and I assume the girls have the roses next week.
They do. And they're going to start picking guys next week.
So you got to think that Julia, unless Savannah gets the rose first and picks Brandon, you got to think Julia's going to pick.
Right. And that's why I partially wished it was girls this week so we could see. But that's how it was last week with Brian and Trevor. And Jamie. So, yeah.
God, man. I feel bad for Sheridan because he's going to get hurt. Like, it's inevitable.
It's inevitable. I think he's really going to go home next week, which really sucks.
Which is sad because, like, I genuinely...
You know what? He might not. Wait, I don't know if next week they do bring guys in or if they start doing, like, the professional performance. Because, like, when they give, like, little snips, you can see Julia is with Sheridan.
Yeah.
So I don't know if those start next week because they perform together, and then after they perform together, the judges said something along the lines of, "We can tell that there's no chemistry between you two," or something, because they judge them on their duet, and then they also judge them on their compatibility, and they're like, "We can tell that y'all just don't want to be next to each other." So I think next week might be the start of like the actual singing competition, which would be interesting.
I hope. It's sad because, like, I actually, like, feel sorry for the guy, like, genuinely. Like,
yeah.
I have an attachment to him in this season of, like, I really, like, wish this guy the best. Like, he's actually not a douchebag. He's a good guy.
That's how I feel about Sheridan and Ryan.
Yeah.
It's like, Ryan's a baby. Oh, my gosh. Can we talk about Rudy?
Let me remind myself. Rudy is the one who slapped Matt, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's Rudy. That's the rootster. You know, she's just being quirky and do her thing.
Rudy is a straight up crazy woman.
Her problem is that she's like super insecure.
Oh, yeah.
Like over the top. That like you're on a show where people are dating each other. That's just how it is. It's a really weird dating experience, and it's a really weird dating experiment in general. And so if you are not confident enough in yourself to go be in that pool, then I don't know why you accepted this, because it's going to drain you. And so every time she talks to Matt, she like brings up other girls and gets like ridiculous. Like when he took Mel on that date during the first episode, she like started basically putting words in his mouth and just like being so weird. And then and she's just like super insecure. It drives me nuts.
I like to think that Matt isn't stupid, but at the same time, I get the vibe that Matt is kind of stupid. And just the fact that, like, he was pretty much since the first episode, ever since she was putting the words in his mouth, like, he was basically like, I'm out on her. Like, she's done. Like, I don't want anything to do with her. But now, like, she reaches for him and makes out with him. And then he's probably like, he's got a guy mind, of course. So he's like, oh, she made out with me. She's interested again. So I'm going to give her my rose, even though she probably doesn't deserve it. I don't know.
Right. It was like they didn't even talk to each other the whole week until the rose ceremony.
Yeah, and that's like when you're talking to two people and you're about to get into a relationship with one of them, and the other person is like, just because I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks doesn't mean like I'm still not into you. It's like, that's exactly what that
means.
Like, you are just trying to hound me for a rose now because you realized the day of the rose ceremony that you don't have a guy that is going to 100% undoubtedly give you the rose.
Right. And then like after she kissed Ryan, she like went in another room and she's like, I can't believe I did that. And then started like crying. And it's like, girl,
because she knows at this
you want
point
to talk to Julia about all the people that she keeps trying to kiss? Or like,
it's silly. She's just at this point hoeing out. Sorry, that's kind of mean, but like she's just hoeing out because she wants to stay on the show.
Huh?
It's the name of the game. You're right. She's just hoeing out because she wants to stay on the show. And I don't think any of these people are like, you know how there was a lot of speculation that last season Alea was in it for the clout, like she wanted the attention and shit. I don't think anyone's in this for the wrong reasons. Like for that, but some of these people just need to get their shit together.
Right.
Like
it's like there's a reason why you're single, and this is it. So clean it up, figure it out. It's like watching Love is Blind and Jessica's so shocked she's single. And it's like, none of us are, no one's shocked. This is what you've done. This is you doing you, BB. Like,
I love how
it's too. It's like, Julia, you're single because like you talk to one guy and then there's loose ends and you kind of want it. Like you're into the chase. And then once you get the chase, then you want someone else so you can be more in the chase again. Like you just love that. And that's fine, but that means you're going to be single until you figure it out.
Let's go back to Ryan real quick. So Ryan got to make out, just like with Ryan made out with Natasha and Rudy. Ruby or Rudy?
I thought Jamie.
Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. So Ryan gets to make out with Natasha there at the end. Mm-hmm. Natasha kind of like redeemed herself for me at the end of the episode, because at the beginning of the episode when she went off and like was just shoving Trevor into the ground, I was like, she's the loser of the week, dude. She's my loser of the week. She sucks. I hate this chick. She's just because you cheated once. I know the saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not always true. I'm not going to sit here and stick up for people that cheat. I've been cheated on myself. It sucks, but like people learn and grow up from their mistakes and shit. So when she came in guns blazing, like, yeah, 2.5 years ago, you cheated on my best friend. It's like, God, stop, please, don't turn into the Victoria F of this season. Just don't be a crazy bitch. But at the end of the episode, it seemed like they'd moved past all the Trevor drama, and she was just like, all right, now I'm here for the right reasons. I'm here to try to find somebody.
Yeah, well, I think it was because she basically told everyone everything, and then Jamie was still cuddling up towards Trevor. So it's like, yeah, you can keep like yelling at Jamie, but like Jamie knows, Jamie cried, Jamie's still with Trevor.
Are you surprised?
And Trevor told her, like pulled her aside and was like, this is what happened. Here's the whole story. So it's like, at that point, it's not your business anymore. Like
you came, you tried, you failed.
They took care of it. They're still together. That's how it is. It'd be different if he was like still lying or like was like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do any of that. And honestly, I think Trevor honestly is a pretty good guy. Based off the way that past relationships sound, it just sounded like it was unhealthy on both ends. And sometimes that's hard. And he emotionally cheated. He didn't physically cheat. It doesn't sound like he had like another girlfriend while he was dating the other girl. It was just taking him a second to be able to finally get over that hump, which is a giant learning lesson. I feel like a good majority of people have been through something like that, and they're not bad people because of it. And yeah, that was 1.5 years ago. Like, leave me alone. Like,
are you surprised that Jamie was, because leading up to the point where they talked, Jamie was like, cheating is my deal breaker. Cheating is my deal breaker. Every relationship I've been in, I've been cheated on. And then he admits it to her. Maybe it's because he admits it to her and is upfront about it that she's like, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance. I was surprised that she was like, basically with open arms, like, okay, I forgive you type thing. I was very surprised.
Yeah, I think I am a little bit. I think at the same time, she is just like so crazy for Trevor that it's going to take basically probably him actually cheating on her for her to be done. She comes off as a girl that forgives a lot. So I feel like it's going to have to actually physically happen before she's like, nope.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go back to Sheridan and Julia's date. Did you dig it?
He didn't know the words to the song, which, like, if you've ever listened to the song Bones, which is the song that they sang, there's a version that has Hosier in it.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And then when he started to sing a little bit, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just like the Hosier version, like the duet with Hosier in it. And he just like I think he messed up the words, or he just like he just stared at her the whole time, which is like cute, but like, dude.
But
or do something. Don't just like stand there.
yeah, I agree with you, but at the same time, I'll give him the fact that like they sit down in this seat at this radio show and they're like, all right, cool, we're gonna go to commercial break, and when we come back, they're gonna perform. And they were like, but I mean, they both agreed to do the song, so
right. About the lyrics, or maybe like,
I didn't realize Julia could really sing. She's got pipes.
She's really good.
So is Sheridan. He's really good too.
Yeah, a lot of them are really good. Oh, the one date that was like literally the cutest. Oh my gosh, between Bree and Chris.
Let's talk about them.
They're so cute. Oh, I love them. I love them so much. I thought she was really weird at first, but they're just like so good together.
I think
it's just because she's on cloud 9 that she's acting the way that she is.
I think two things. I think, yes, they're very cute together, and they're probably going to survive the show. But I'm also still on the she's weird train, but I'm sure I'll get over it. But their date, very interesting, but so intimate in such a weird way.
It was good because it wasn't like they were making out with each other. Like, I feel like most of the dates it's like so much lust. Like, again, back to the hot tub. Like, it's always just lust. And it's never like, I'm really trying to connect with you and like, let's have a conversation and like, it was like intimate and like the most grown up, I want to be with you, I can see myself with you for the rest of my life way. Mm-hmm. It was like they were like kind of like in what they call the honeymoon stage, but at the same time it was like, I don't know, I just loved it. It was so wholesome.
I feel you. Yeah, I didn't know where that was going to go when they went to the Guitar Center. I was like, oh, are they going to be in there playing music with some kind of artist or something? But no, just got to walk around and admire the music and play music and talk. Right. That's why I liked that date, is they literally just talked the whole time. It wasn't
I like that it was like super like they were by themselves, because so far with all the singing, it's always been in front of another artist, in a radio station, in a studio, in front of a crowd. But for them, when they were like singing and doing their stuff, it was like they were making up a song as they go, which was really cute. And it wasn't for anyone but them. Like, it wasn't like they were trying to impress anyone. They were just there together. And it was so sweet. That was definitely the best one.
Yeah, I agree. So rose ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, our buddy, shouts to Chris Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in looking like a stud as always. But before we talk about the rose ceremony, I want to mention something that I mentioned last week. Something that I mentioned on the last episode. Something I forgot to mention last week when we talked, that just so everyone knows that these episodes are sponsored by Prepped and Ready. Did you know that, Kaleigh?
No.
Well, you do now. Prepped and Ready is a meal delivery company that services all of Metro Atlanta's area. They're working right now amongst all of the COVID stuff. Check out their website, preppedreadymeals.com, and use the code BINGE10 for 10% off your order. It's pretty sweet. Check them out. Moving on. Rose ceremony. I had to throw that in there.
All right.
So Chris, he gives his rose to Bree. Obviously, we knew that was coming. There was no surprise there. That's why they were first. Trevor gives his to Jamie. We haven't gotten a lot of Trevor. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong guy. We've seen Trevor and Jamie, of course. They went through their drama this week. They got over it sweet. Matt gives his to Rudy, which we saw coming, I guess, because of the make-out sesh there at the end. The slap was hilarious. I've seen the slap on Twitter and Instagram made into like a GIF a few times today.
That's awesome.
So I love that. So Ryan gives his to Natasha because he got that last-minute make-out, I assume, because I assume they didn't talk like at all.
I'm really interested to see how that unfolds. I doubt it survives next week.
Nah, I 100% agree. Unless they have like real great like physical like singing connection, like I don't see it surviving because she totally could be lying about the whole like, oh yeah, I'm into nerds. No, you're not. You look like Mariah Carey to me.
Right.
You are not into supermodels. You want guys that look like The Rock.
Right.
So yeah. So that's out. But did you catch that Jamie was like, please no, please no, please no, like when he was giving it to Natasha?
No.
She was like saying under her breath, this website, Entertainment, has the quote. She said like, please no, please no, please no. And then Ryan gave it to Natasha.
Like she didn't want Natasha to stay?
No, because of the drama that she started.
Yes. Actually, I do remember that because she doesn't like Natasha, which I don't like. I kind of don't blame her. I feel like Natasha coming in and starting all that drama, yeah, it was kind of needed to protect Jamie, but she went about it in a way that wasn't to protect Jamie.
No,
it was just to start drama and to be seen and to be known, which like, I mean, the producers probably told her to go do something like that. So it's not completely on Natasha.
Yeah.
But realistically, being Jamie, you don't want to come back to 6 girls staring at you, knowing something that you don't know that's more important to you than it is to them. Like you would rather the one person that did know, to not spend the last hour talking crap about everyone and just have pulled you aside and talked to you personally. So
agreed.
I don't know. So I understand Jamie's point. Like it was all to kind of service Jamie, but then at the same time, was it? And it just left her really hurt and it blew things way out of proportion. So
then we get Danny giving his to Becca. Those were the people I was talking about. We didn't get on.
Yeah, they must be just doing their own thing and doing great because you never see Danny or Becca. I don't even know what their singing sounds like. So I guess that's what's exciting about the competition because we'll hear them. Because I agree. Just have been non-existent this whole time.
Brandon gives his to Savannah. I kind of had thought this because that kiss that Julia gave Brandon there at the end, right before the ceremony, came off as like a "don't forget about me, I'm still here" kind of kiss. Like where she just like grabbed him. It almost seemed like, I know it wasn't like unwanted, but it kind of seemed like
it was just desperate.
Yeah, desperate. That's it. That's what I'm thinking of. So because Julia knows that, like you said earlier, the guy that she wants doesn't want her, and the guy that wants her, she doesn't want. So she's just in this spot of like, well, what the hell do I do now?
Right.
But I can't wait to see next week and how that expands, especially when they sing with each other. And then Gabe.
I know that it's going to be bad because there's the one clip of Savannah crying.
Yep.
And the camera to get out of her face. Which
so something goes down with Brandon.
Not deserve that.
No.
And the thing is, like, at the same time, I wish Brandon was a little bit more honest because at least Julia looked at Sheridan and was like, I want to be honest with you because that's what I'm here to do. I'm not trying to hide. So I had this spark with Brandon, blah, 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 blah. I kind of want to know if it's still there. At least like she was honest with Sheridan along that way. Accepting his rose, I think, was dumb. But at least she was honest with him that way. Brandon, though, needs to be honest with Savannah and say, hey, by the way, at the last rose ceremony, these 2 girls came up and kissed me. Especially if he's going to go back up to Julia after the fact and say, like, now we have time to work on this. Like, you need to be honest with her. I mean, it's fine. It's a dating show. Like, and there's 8 on 8. Like, of course you're going to, like, be curious and want to know. That's the whole point. You don't just immediately fall in love with the first person you talk to. So, but if you're going to lie and stuff, then it's not great.
Yeah, not a good look.
Not a good look.
So, and then, of course, like you just said, Sheridan gives his to Julia. And then Gabe gives his to Ruby. Another example of they must be doing okay because we're not hearing anything from them. Although I did find it kind of odd.
Isn't Ruby a new girl, though?
Yeah, she's the pink-haired girl that came in and was like, I'm basically known for hooking up with guys on bachelor parties.
Oh, great.
I'm like, wow.
I don't know if I like her. The one girl that I kind of wish stayed for a second because she was so cute was the
Mariana girl.
Mariana.
Yeah, she was cute as hell.
Cute. I was like, why didn't anyone? She's probably just like super shy. And like, if you're going to be brought in, you have to be a shark kind of thing. So I feel like she and like Ryan would have been cute.
Yeah.
Like, you just got the balls to go talk to Ryan because Ryan was sad boy Ryan, like the entire week.
Ryan gives me Shawn Mendes vibes.
Oh, I can see that.
Just, he's got the look.
Yeah, I agree.
They could have been like a cute Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello thing if Mariana stuck around, but we'll see. Let's get into our awards.
Yay.
All right, Kaleigh, what you got for your winner of the week? You go first.
My winner chicken dinner of the week. Oh, man. I just feel like there's so many losers this week that it's almost hard to pick a winner.
That's what I thought when I was looking at them.
Okay, I would have to say that my winner of the week is going to be Bree.
Okay. Yeah.
Bree or Chris. One of the two. I say Chris. I want to say Chris because Chris, based off of what he said, it's like been really hard for him to love again, and it's been hard for him to be vulnerable. And being on a show that's broadcasted where all your personal business is in front of everyone, and you're taking that first step to be that person that you want to be with someone that you've only met for 2 weeks, that takes a lot of courage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very impressed with him. He's killing it. I think him and Bree are going to be together for the whole thing. So high risk, high reward, So I definitely am here for Chris.
Cool. I'm looking at the cast list here, and like you just said, like I almost want to just pick Chris Harrison as the winner of the week because Chris Harrison is always a win. But you know what? I think I'm gonna go with Trevor as my winner of the week because he had potential to take this whole I emotionally cheated in my past relationship scenario, and he could have lied about it. He could have made a bigger deal out of it. He could have handled it the wrong way for sure, and it would have tumbled out of his control.
Right. Just like the whole Blake from Bachelors in Paradise last season. Yeah. He
could have just screwed himself over, but I think, and with him pulling Jamie aside immediately after Trevor and Natasha talked, I think was definitely the right move instead of waiting. They got back from talking and he immediately grabs Jamie and was like, we got to talk right now.
Right. I think he handled it really well because if you kind of think about it, I feel like the only people on the show that actually knew about the whole Trevor having possibly cheated on his ex was the 4 girls that were sitting there. You didn't hear the guys talking about it. It wasn't this big blown up thing. So he definitely mitigated the situation very well.
Word. I think we both have the loser. Maybe we both have different losers, but who's your loser of this week?
Definitely Julia.
Yeah, there's no competition there.
There is 2 very clear losers, though, in my opinion.
Who's the other one?
Judy. I mean Rudy, not Judy.
Yes,
See, he sucks. I already kind of forgot her name.
If I had to pick because you picked Julia, then I would say Rudy as well. She's in a state where she's also now desperate because she's like, oh shit, I've kind of not given any guy attention, and I feel like I need to go make out with 2 different guys in order for one of them to give me their rose. Mm-hmm. She's not in a good spot. And yeah, like you said, Julia, piece of shit week for you, Julia.
Right, piece of shit week for you, girl.
You better figure your shit out, or Brandon needs to figure his shit out and let Julia know, like, hey, I think I'm going to take this further with Savannah. But judging from the preview for next week, where we see Savannah bawling her eyes out, part of me thinks that Savannah's going to get hurt, and that also upsets me.
Right. Yeah, it's just upsetting because I know Julia and Sheridan were like my winner couple of last week, and now I want Sheridan to get as far away from her as possible, which is so sad.
It's crazy how shit changes in a week. Who you got your eye on? Who are you like low key like? All right, I'm watching you. We'll see what you got.
I think we have the obvious one, but Is
that Natasha?
Yeah, but I'm also kind of worried about Ruby too.
I've got mine.
What?
I think I've got my eye on Matt.
Oh.
I'm wondering what he's got going on. We didn't see a lot from him this week, but we saw the stuff at the end. Who knows what he was brewing up?
Right.
I mean, we didn't get much screen time from him, so you got to think either he had shit figured out with somebody. You got to think there was a really quick shot of him sitting down with Cheyenne, because Cheyenne gave him the rose last week.
Right.
So you think that maybe him and Cheyenne had a pretty good week together, but then that moment at the end between him and Rudy kind of sealed his deal for her.
Right, and it was so sad because during the rose ceremony, you could tell how everybody wanted him to pick Cheyenne.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as
Cheyenne. That's how much no one liked Rudy.
Yeah, I think everybody wants Rudy to go. She's kind of like the Kelsey of last season. She's super insecure for no reason. She's just making shit up. She's just a drama. She's trouble. She's trouble. She's drama.
My whole thing with Ruby is if she came in and was like, I'm known as the girl that hooks up with guys at bachelor parties.
What are you doing?
And you've been here for half the week. You met with Gabe, who's a good Christian boy. This is going to be interesting. I just don't see her being interested that long. What she really needed was like a good guy to come in her life and kind of swoop her. But yeah, I have a feeling she's going to try to, maybe she'll talk to Matt. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll see. You're right. At this point in time now, who's your favorite couple?
Chris and Bree, of course.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I think they're the strongest for sure.
I think the next one would have to be Danny and Becca, because literally they must just be so solid and just so low key that the show just like isn't even interested in them.
Maybe like you saw without a doubt he picked her.
Yeah, they like, and then there was no.
And like the way she accepted it, like she like had like a little one-liner or whatever. So they clearly have some kind of like connection, but
right.
You know how TV is. If there's no drama, they're not going to air it.
Right. So I think they're probably a really solid couple too.
Yeah, I think so. Any other awards you want to give out?
I don't think so. We could do like the biggest drama starter for the week, or like who was the most dramatic.
I think that's a repeat of our biggest loser of the week. I think Julia and Rudy
are
the biggest drama starters at this point in time. Although I think Mel was stirring unnecessary drama about Brandon for no reason, because no offense to Mel, like, that's just not who Brandon's going for.
Right.
Like, she's a good girl and everything, but the way she treated it is as if they had, like, had all this romantic time together, and, like, you know, she snuck in that last kiss there at the end because, and she was like, kissing Brandon was like cloud nine for me. I think I have a good outlook going into this ceremony. Girl,
no, you don't.
He's got 5 girls tied around his wrist. Don't believe anything Brandon says at this point.
Right.
You saw the clip at the very beginning of the episode when one of the guys was like, "You got your eyes set on anybody?" And he was like, "I'm just keeping my options open." It's like, that's the biggest fuckboy line ever.
Right. Oh, I also didn't notice this, but Brandon and Savannah are 9 years different.
Really? How old?
Brandon's 34 and Savannah's 25.
I didn't realize he was that old.
I didn't realize Mel was 27.
This age thing
He's
is
23.
awesome. I didn't realize a lot of these people. Sheridan looks like a solid 27.
Yeah.
How old's Jewel?
Ryan does not look like he's 28. He looks like he's 24 or 25.
Yeah, Ryan gives off 25 vibes.
Natasha's too hot to be 33.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's impossible.
Chris is 30. I think Chris looks like another like 27, 28.
Yeah. I can kind of see Brie being 28.
Mm-hmm. She gives off 28 vibes.
Dude, Jack, who was there for 2 seconds, he was almost 40. Oh, buddy, that's crazy.
That's why he's gone.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Rudy is definitely 24. Is she the youngest?
No. Oh, she might be now.
Oh, sorry. Jamie is 21.
Yeah, Jamie's 21.
But Jamie acts 21.
Yes, she does.
Rudy, I am not surprised, is also in her early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Next week, we should go through all the cast members that are left and describe them in like one words or one-liners.
Okay. Bet.
Bet.
Or like a meme that describes them best.
Yeah. Oh, a meme. That'd be hilarious.
Word, bet. That's it.
That's all. Yeah.
I love talking about The Bachelor. I'm so glad I'm aboard Bachelor Nation.
I need to shout out my 3 roommates back at Georgia Tech the one summer.
Oh, yeah, when you lived here.
When I lived at Georgia Tech, because I did not like The Bachelor. I wrote it off. And then I think it was Becca's season. And they're like, you have to watch. It's the best thing. And we would all go get cookies, like Tiffany's treats. And then we'd go back upstairs and we would watch The Bachelor together every Monday. And it was so wholesome. And they were all 3 years younger than me. And they all went to the bars more often than I did. They weren't even 21. It was so bad. I was like, this is quite interesting for sure.
Sad. Get them to listen. Shouts to them.
I know. Shouts to them. I remember some of their names. I remember all their names, but I'll need to brush up so I don't pronounce them all wrong. But
Word.
We'll next week with their names. But yeah, all right. Can you play the porno music for us one more time?
Say what now?
Can you play the porno music for us one more time?
I will play that in just a minute after I replug all of our shit one more time.
Okay.
If you like me and Kaylee's discussions, hop over and listen to our regularly scheduled programming with me, Pearson, and Zach. Those air every Tuesdays, and these episodes air every Wednesday. How about also go over to Instagram and follow all of us? Our ats are in the description of the episode, but in case you need it read aloud, Logan Lewis 96, P Killer 56, Zach McConnell, Binge Boys Podcast, and Kale's Tales.
Kale's Tales. Stales. I promise. It's the Tales of Kales. Maybe I should just change it to the Tales of Kales.
Either way, it's amazing. It's a great ad.
It is a great ad. It is.
I wish I had like a name that worked with an app, but Logan is such like it's not like, I don't want to sit here and say like it's a unique name, but like there's not a clever thing that you can do with Logan other than the fact that Logan is also the same name as like Wolverine from the X-Men movies. There's no way I can make Logan into a cool ad. But yeah, follow us on there. Go to Apple Podcasts, rate it and review it. Share it with a friend. Let us know what's good. Let us know what's not. Share it with a friend. That's how word best gets spread. Think about all the TV shows. When's the last time you started a show recommended to you by somebody? Same thing with this podcast. Recommend it to somebody. With that being said, I think I'll play us out on the porno music.
Great.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I've never been more ready.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh. This is the RT dance. Shouts to the people who know who RT is.
Oh, RT.